This show brought to you by Renovatio. Are you considering a Thrustmaster product? If so, you should consider Renovatio. They are an authorized Thrustmaster dealer. They take support to the next level and offer optional firmware updates, product testing, and support, all free of charge, and will ship worldwide. Check them out at ricmotech.com. John and Darren's office chairs provided by GT Omega Racing. You can check them out at gtomegaracing.com.
Welcome to This Week Inside Sim Racing, February 15th, 2017 edition. I'm John Sable, and back with the whole gang.
The gang's all here.
3.
Exactly. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic.
Say, Darren, your leg feeling better?
Yeah, went to the doctor yesterday, and in a little less than 2 weeks, I can start kind of walking on it.
Oh, man. The countdown.
With my boots. I know, man. I am counting the frickin' minutes. But I'm 2 weeks ahead of schedule, he said, based on the break. So he said normally he wouldn't let people walk on it until 10 weeks, and I'll be doing it at 8. So yeah, doing good. Thanks for asking.
That's a plus.
Nice.
Yes.
So we'll see you at Sebring in a month.
Yeah. I should be able to run it. I'm going to be running a Assetto Corsa endurance race with a friend of mine. April 1st, I think. So
what's that about? What car are they running?
It's like a GT style race. We're going to be in the like the GTR, and it is at, the heck are we racing? I think it's a mod track. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to it. And you the driver swaps, you have to like share a Steam account. So that's going to be interesting to run. I'll talk about it here on the show after I do it. So, yep.
Whoa. Huh.
Yeah, didn't even know that was a way to do it, but cool.
I had no idea.
I didn't either until I was invited to do it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Good stuff. So, welcome everyone. As always, if you can give a thumbs up, that's awesome. We kind of stopped doing that, but I feel like we deserve thumbs up because technology-wise, we've been pretty good here so far, knocking on wood.
And now you've done and broke it.
I know.
Good job.
Well, especially considering we're doing the triple monitor setup.
Yes, we are testing every bit of whatever throttled bandwidth I get from Time Warner. So, I say let's roll into things. We got a ton of topics this week in all segments. That's it. But Darren, you want to start off with something special we got going on?
Absolutely. So we got a giveaway going on. You could win a Thrustmaster TSPC and T3 PA Pro pedal set. And to win, you're going to need to be a member of our forums at isrtv.com/forums. And then you're going to have to email us at contest@insidesimracing.tv. Do we have a link to this forum thread in the description, John?
Yes, we have a link, and I am currently showing it.
Okay, perfect. You're going to need to supply us with your real name, your location, so country, state, city, just something basic. So when we announce your name on the show, we can say, Billy Strange from Northern California won, blah, blah, blah. So here's what you're going to need to do.
It's like a twofer now.
I know, you're going to have 2 wheels.
That's
you already won, Billy.
See?
So to win, you're going to need to answer 4 questions correctly. First question is, what's the material used on the TSPC Racer's open wheel grip? What's the shape of the external turbo power supply? And I'm going to give you a hint. It's not the shape. We're not looking for the word turbo. We just gave you that in the question. So there's another specific word that it's references the shape of the power supply. How many watts in the brushless motor? And what does FOC stand for in relation to the TSPC Racer? So 1 entry per email address / forum member. Deadline is February 28th, 2017, and the person that has submitted their name and location and answered all 4 questions correctly will be chosen at random and notified via email and announced on the March 1st edition of this show. So tune in live to see if you won. You'll also be getting an email, but you're not going to know if you won until after we announce it on the show because we're going to do the drawing live here. So what do you guys think? That's a pretty sweet prize package. I think that's one of the best or
That's really good.
highest value prize packages we've ever had.
Yes, no, that is a pretty sweet prize that Thrustmaster has put out there. So yeah, make sure you get those questions right. Little tip: I would check out the original TSPC announcement blog post that I did on the website, because that tends to have that information in there. I know for sure. So little tip there: don't mess up.
By the way, this is worldwide, so this is not limited to any region. Doesn't matter where you live, you're eligible to win this. There's something else I was going to say too. Oh, we already have over 100 entries, and we haven't even had it. Well, it's been about 24 hours since we posted it. So yeah, good luck to you guys. Get your entry in. Got to get it in before the 28th, and you could win that killer setup.
Billy, you swatting at flies?
Man, see, this is the weird thing because I can't tell if I'm on camera or not. So I'm like, am I on camera or not? And this thing comes flying across the screen. I'm like, do I do anything? It's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. I gotta get it.
Oh, that's funny. So okay,
I'm a bug killer.
Yes. So with that, let's go ahead and roll on into the news this week. And first up, there is a new set of pedals that was announced last week. The Fanatec V3 Inverted, or I've seen V3i for shorthand, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the Fanatec V3 pedals, but now in inverted form, and yeah, they look pretty wild, don't you think, guys?
Yeah,
I would actually. I kind of prefer that setup. So I would be interested in. It's hard to say. I don't know. I haven't even gotten to try out a set of V3, so I guess I can't speak too much about it.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's going to depend on your rig. I'm also curious about the adjustability of those pedals, because that clutch pedal is sitting, straight up. So I'm really looking forward to hearing your take on them, John, when you get them. Yeah, it looks cool.
Yes. Getting these, I got the FedEx thing the other day. Going to be arriving this Friday. My birthday this Friday. Oh boy, birthday present. It'll be interesting to try these out. The clutch gets kind of a different mechanism, and there's different spacing between some of the pedals. And then now included is the damper kit that you're seeing there. Even though I will say, I prefer the brake performance kit more than the damper kit, if you saw the brake performance kit review. So that's interesting. And also
I'm up with John on that too. Yeah, it should come with that. I
was going to say it should accept the performance kit though, right?
Yes.
There's nothing there that inhibits that from happening.
Correct, it is, and they're actually sending me another one of those kits so I can play with it. But yeah, I think what the thought process was behind it was that they wanted to have more travel there with this brake pedal to be more GT style, and that brake performance kit is a little more like a formula style where it really shortens the throw.
Sure.
It's not too. If you use the softer springs, it's not that bad. But if you definitely start using that green, the stiffer one, it does shorten it. So that was the thought process. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll kind of see. Another thing that was a real talking point was the price. It's quite the price premium. They go up to $500 in the U.S., and which is a $200 increase, and then they go an additional 250 euros over in Europe.
When somebody Holly just said, figures I just bought a set of V3 pedals. You know what? You saved $200 over, unless you really wanted them inverted. That's a $200 price difference.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. In the blog post, I kind of said I guess I kind of see the price, because first I think the V3s at $300 is really well priced. I mean, I think they could probably slap another $50 or $100 on that, and it would still be like, okay, that's fair. And then you are getting a damper, and then there is, all the mechanisms going to inverting it. So I understand it. Some people were really taken aback by the $200 increase. or
Well,
€250 increase.
Talking about my dog disappeared. Yeah, it almost doubles the price.
Yes. So, yeah, we'll find out here shortly if it's worth the price premium, and also if it's gonna like fit all in my rig. Those things are tall. I was kind of looking at my rig. I'm like,
Right.
might have to. Because I kind of got a setup where I got my computer up on some 80/20 and speakers, and I might have to adjust that. But
Yeah, I was
We'll
just
see.
looking at mine. I was looking at mine, and it would fit in the stage 4.
yeah. So, and then some people were asking, we didn't mention, I didn't have a topic here about the Fanatec direct drive wheel thing. We talked about that last week. They're working on a direct drive wheel. There really isn't anything.
Yeah.
You know what? And
No.
that's old news. He hasn't told us any. Based on those threads in the iRacing forums, nothing new has been said that wasn't said over a year ago. There was another thread that came back to life in the hardware section where he talked about it early 2016. So maybe it was even late 2015. So there's nothing to talk about. Not at least from our standpoint. We don't know anything more than you might know from what you read in the iRacing forums, which isn't anything more than Thomas mentioned well over a year ago. So looking forward to hearing about it and what's going on with it. It's, be nice to have another direct drive wheel on the market.
Yep. So when we have more information to report, we will report it. But yeah, nothing new. So, okay, moving on. Billy, what's happening in Assetto Corsa land?
We got a whole bunch of stuff. But first, we will talk about the previews. What was that on? Was that on... I think they mentioned it on Twitter and Facebook. Did they post all the pictures on Facebook? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Regardless.
it was a typical Marco posting on on his Facebook.
There we go. Yeah, that's it. So the Mazda 787B, Toyota Celica GT4, 2014 Audi R18 e-tron Quattro, Toyota Hybrid TS040 LMP1, Audi R8 LMS GT3, and the 2017 Porsche 911 RSR. We also throw in the Audi TT VLN and the Happy Mazda. That's funny. The MX.
Yeah.
You caught me off guard. I didn't realize. That's funny.
Yeah,
Thank you
it's
for that.
It looks like a car from the movie Cars.
Right?
really, yes, yeah, no, because that car is in Cars. It's a '90s Mazda that looks. I mean, let's be fair. Most Miatas look happy, but yes.
That's funny. Nice work. A+. And then the 250 GTO, there was a little teaser of that. But most of these cars, like you've stated here, were announced a little bit ago.
Yeah, no, there a lot of those cars were mentioned in the year-end blog post of 2015. And the Toyota LMP1, at least the announcement of that coming to Assetto Corsa was like spring of 2015, maybe
I was going to say
2014.
that seemed
long
right.
time ago. So it's cool to see him finally here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Mazda 787.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see how much
yeah.
it differs from
Oh, yeah.
the mod version that's been out for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, that keeps, if I remember right, it keeps breaking because of the different, when they do an update or a tire model or it's something. I had it. And then they did an update. It was to the sound or to a tire model, and it broke it. Like there was no external sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, so many mods break every single update just because they change stuff, and then everything's all messed up. So, yeah, that's kind of the trick with mods, and especially how many updates that get pumped out these days.
Yeah, I imagine it's tough to keep up with. John, do you want to hit up the poll question real quick?
Yeah. So, created a poll question based off of this topic this week, and the poll I didn't put the poll question in on YouTube.
Oh!
Never mind. We don't have a poll question. The poll question was going to be, does Assetto Corsa have enough cars?
We can't add it after the fact, can we?
I don't know. I think we'll just scrap it.
We'll do it next week.
Well, never mind. But while we're at poll, we just get this out of the way now. I do want to go back over last week's poll results. And that question was, thoughts on GTR 3? And you guys answered 45% interested, 30% very excited about, 13% no interest, have other sims, and 10% concerned it's not sim enough. But I say, you add interested and very excited together, that's 75%, which that's a pretty positive response from you guys.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
And maybe you guys caught the Beyond the Gloves where we talked about that a little more in detail. But, okay. Yes. So, Billy, let's jump back into Assetto Corsa. What's the other topic from them?
So they released quite a substantial update, and the main few items is they have updated all the cars to the V10 tire model. They've got some chassis balance and inertia, and some brake fade for the vintage cars improved. What else do we have in the fixes? I think that's about it. But the two major things that I did a video on yesterday, so last night, my time at least, is the Audi Quattro S1E2, one of my favorite cars of that era, along with the Highlands layout, 4 layouts rather. And you have the, the short, drift, standard, and long. And it's a pretty interesting combination. The short track is I actually kind of like the short track just because it's so quick. It's only about 55 seconds, and you've really got to wrestle that particular car around there. And the long circuit is not really fit for this car. It really should have a car that has a longer gearbox in it. There's just a massive straightaway that you could use, but there's also some rises in it. So you may, I don't know, can you flip a car over backwards in AC? I don't even know. I was getting air in the Audi.
Yes.
So looks good.
Yeah, and it sounds good.
So what do you think? I mean, are they all the layouts pretty cool?
I think each one has its. They all obviously share one small part, but they're very distinct between each layout. Like you can tell what they were going after, especially like the drift track. And then when you go to the long circuit, I think they had an idea of more like an endurance race, because I mean that one straightaways just takes forever, and there's got some pretty tricky corners in that long layout too. There's some compound radius turns, and if you go in too deep, all of a sudden it just gets sharper at the end, and you're like, oh, there's the fence, which I might have done twice maybe in that one.
But John, you weren't a big fan of it.
No, I will say, out of all 4 layouts, I like the long course the most. I think it had the most interesting corners, like Billy was saying. Some of those closed radius corners were I enjoyed. Even kind of like the drift one. But yeah, the city course is just kind of like, I don't know. It just didn't really capture me. And even the regular, the standard circuit, I thought just the corners were just kind of all the same radius. And I don't know. I mean,
Did I put you on the spot, John?
No. This is fine. Because I complained about it yesterday on Skype. They came out and they said like the best racetrack doesn't exist, so we created it. So I was like, okay, I got excited. And as Billy, I think properly noted in his video, it's not a bad track to drive, but you can't race. It doesn't really race well, and that's what I was looking for. Like I jumped into AI races, and I wanted to go and race. And I don't know. I think I must just have a different opinion. I feel like if I were to design a track myself, it would look probably a lot more something like a Road America, with a lot of elevation, a lot long straights, and then a lot more 90-degree corners, because I want passing opportunities. And like this track with kind of these wide radius corners, just not really any passing opportunities. So yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea, even though I do like the long course. I like more.
I'm gonna have to check out your video, Billy. I haven't watched it yet because I'm kind of jealous. I can't try it. Well, actually, I'm gonna probably be driving within the next week or so. That long one is like 7.5 miles long, so that thing's a beast.
Yeah, it's not as complicated as you think it is. The only reason I struggled with it because I did all 4 right in a row, and so you get to these points where things look similar, and then you kind of forget where you're at by the long circuit, because I did the long circuit last. I kind of was forgetting where I was at, so I'd overshoot a corner every once in a while. See, I'm kind of the opposite. I liked the short and the standard version better. I thought the long version was just kind of like, yeah, you just put a long straightaway in there and, nah, kind of thing. I mean, it's cool. It's not that it's not cool, and it's free, and I think they did a great job with, like I said in the video, pairing this car and this track, throwing it out, and just letting it rip. The passing opportunities, I could argue that those compound radius turns make for passing opportunities on the longer track. It's very easy to make a mistake.
Yeah, but the AI is perfect.
I don't know about that, but they definitely won't try to pass you.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I would say is it kind of reminded me a little bit of the Gran Turismo series. Like if you ever played like Rome Circuit or something like that, the little short course kind of reminded me of one of those, which I thought was kind of cool. You know, you're going through the town and you got the buildings on the side and the little whatever it is, pavestone, cobblestone, however you want to say it, where it seemed at least like there was a little different grip level. And then to round this out, I had no idea they had pit stop animations.
Yeah, that was something watching your video. I'm like, yeah, I hadn't experienced that either, and
I did that by accident.
I do remember when that came out. It's been a while now.
Okay.
But I remember the trailer for it. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, I've just never, I've done shorter races, so.
I I pulled in the pits because I just did like 1 or 2 laps as a test just to kind of halfway know the track, and I happened to pull in the one time, and all of a sudden it brings this little screen up. I'm like, well, what is this? So I said, yeah, change tires. What does this do? And all of a sudden, goes to the top of the car, and there's an animation, and I'm like, I did not know this was here. I mean, they might have said it a while ago, but I just don't remember it. And so I was like, I'll just put this in anyways. I haven't seen it before.
Yeah, no, it's really slick. I mean, it did remind me how nice it does look as animation. So, yeah, looks good.
So before we move on from this, there was some talk about fantasy tracks in Sims, and I mean most of the titles we run are considered Sims, and some maybe on the Simcade side. But what do you got? I like fantasy tracks if they're done well. I mean, Billy mentioned some in Gran Turismo, and then there's some in Forza that I think, both those titles have some great fantasy tracks. Matter of fact, there was a fantasy track back in I think it was NASCAR 3 days. I don't know, Billy, if you had that or not. Did you ever run Bull Run?
No, I didn't. Well, unless it was ported to the console, no.
It was ported to it was
because wasn't one of those ported?
So it was a fantasy track built by Papyrus, developed by Papyrus.
Yes.
And then it started to get ported to like NASCAR 2003, and then R Factor.
Okay, that's probably where I played it then, was something like that.
Yeah, and actually that was the first ever endurance race I ran was on that track. There used to be a website called the US Pits that was really popular back in the day. I mean, it was like the place to go for sim racing stuff. And they did the very first endurance race with driver swaps. And then I followed suit and with my league I think I did the first ever 6-hour or 12-hour race at Daytona road course in NASCAR 2003. But anyway, it was a fun track. Bull Run was cool. But anyway, I like fantasy tracks. What do you guys? What's your take?
Oh, go ahead, Barry. Billy.
There we go. There's that talking over each other. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I couldn't see.
So I don't know. I'm okay with them. I definitely do prefer real world tracks, and instead of Corsa's case, as I saw a chat talking about earlier, and kind of a little bit where I was getting at with that question about do they have enough cars? Assetto Corsa's added a ton of cars, which cars are good, but man, tracks, they are still just really on the struggle bus. And when we talk about titles like Project Cars 2 coming out, that's going to have a bunch of tracks. Yeah, having tracks is important. So I don't mind fantasy ones. I will say my favorite fantasy tracks was back when I was running the NASCAR Thunder series on like PS1, maybe 2.
Yes.
They had some road courses in there.
Yes,
that
they
were
did.
like I think they had like San Francisco or something like that.
Yeah. Well, then there was one that had like all I can remember now is like a right-hander into a banked left-hander, and it was like this road course, out in the middle of whatever. But that one was cool. I remember that one.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy those. I played them a ton. They were really fun. So, yeah, no, I don't mind doing fancy tracks, but I don't know. I think these days I kind of lean a little more towards the real world tracks. And the part what makes it tough, like the fancy track, I actually turned the line on driving yesterday just so I could, it could tell me where to go, because I'm so used to, going to memorize a real world track and then, being in the ballpark. But I was like, I don't know where I'm going in this place.
Well, I did not do that, but I like fantasy tracks. The problem is everybody, unless you are getting a circuit, it's a double-edged sword. If you're getting a circuit that everybody has, then you need that because everybody else has it. Otherwise, people start complaining, well, why don't you have this track? But then on the other hand, if you have a track that everybody else has, then why are you putting it in your sim? Unless you have something unique. Like we talked about Bruno, I think, last week on Beyond the Gloves, John. That's a fairly unique track that isn't in a lot of games, so that's a good choice. I think for fantasy tracks, I really liked Maple Valley. I liked I think it was Red Rock Valley in the GT series, and also Midfield, which I think was not a copy, but inspired by Suzuka. Those would be 3 fantasy tracks that I would point to. Also, one that was kind of obscure was in GT2 was that Grindelwald circuit where you kind of went up through the hillside, and it was a very narrow road. It was very much like this. It was really not meant for racing, more like one car, but that was kind of cool.
Wim also pointed out Live for Speed. Live for Speed is made up of fantasy tracks.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there aren't a ton of fancy tracks out there these days with that, like Billy was saying, that push towards realism. But yeah, maybe it would be cool to have some more come out. I mean, if they're a good track, I'll enjoy. Like I said, so far I haven't quite been in love with the fantasy tracks. I think maybe that's my issue. I gotta get that track from the NASCAR Thunder Series. Those couple road courses were awesome.
There you go. There you go. I agree.
All right, we've milked that topic to death.
Yes.
No,
Moving
that's
on.
not true. I can keep going.
Oh, I could, but that's a Beyond the Gloves segment.
Right.
Yeah.
So iRacing put out something last week, or actually rather close to, what was that, the weekend?
I think it was on Thursday.
Was it Thursday? Okay.
Oh no, it was Saturday. I'm sorry.
Saturday. That's what I thought. I thought it was on the weekend.
But yes. Billy or Darren, go ahead.
Darren. Me. Another dirt teaser. Looked cool. It was, talk about teaser. I mean, that was a short teaser.
Yeah. Let me play it again.
Yeah, play it again. Let's just loop it for about 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. We've been talking about this, obviously, for a while. We're speculating Season 2 for release. But and Billy's been doing a lot of testing behind the scenes with it. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
I would say still don't guess on a release date.
Coming soon.
Hashtag, yep.
Yeah, where was the hashtag at? Come on, guys.
No.
Yeah, they missed it. It's like their calling card.
I know. It's like they're like we did a hashtag soon crap for a while. Now we're gonna get back and be serious. No, one more hashtag soons.
Yep.
No, Tom. I don't think I'm in the teaser.
Well, yeah. No, one thing that I did a blog on it and I had like 2 sentences. It's like, hey, here it is. But one thing that you kind of see a little bit there, since we're kind of allowed to talk about it, but not showing you videos, the driver model work that they've been doing with dirt cars. It's going to be impressive when you really see it. You see a little bit in this teaser, but it's still kind of hard to slow motion.
Wait till you see the sprint car where you can actually see the driver from the side. It is impressive.
Yes.
I was watching a replay and I was like, holy cow, that looks awesome.
Very cool.
Yes. So hopefully we'll see maybe some more trailers that have a little more length to it, and hopefully Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was saying hopefully soon enough we get the okay that we can make a video for it, and by we I mean Billy make a video.
I want to be in it.
Fair enough.
We talked about this. Didn't we talk about all three of us going out and running some laps together?
Yes,
Yep.
we'll let Billy go out and set the pace, and we'll try to emulate him.
Yeah. Billy, have you ever heard this saying? Web Duelist put it in chat. Dirt is for racing, asphalt is for getting there.
Yes, I'm very familiar with that phrase. Yes.
Billy's
and then all the road course and asphalt guys go, "Shut up!"
Billy's got it tattooed on his back.
Right? No, hey, we do for Alpha, for people that don't know, they hold test sessions, and they had a test session with a road racing test session. Nothing major, just some little updates that they wanted to see if it worked. And I'm like, I don't want to go in there like I'm going to get my ass kicked. I'm like, I don't want to do this. And then at the very end, no, it was like a qualifying session, so you could just do it whenever. So at the very end of the night, where we had done all the other dirt testing stuff, I go in and and luckily they were doing the Mercedes, the GT3 car. So I get in there and I take about 6 laps or so before it closes, and I was like, well, I wasn't too bad. I'm not that far off. So I enjoy all that stuff equally. My expertise really lies more in the dirt stuff, but I like running the road course stuff.
You just got to be in a front engine car, as we established a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I just don't know what it is with. I tried again. I am just awful in that, at least in iRacing so far, with the mid-engine stuff. Not good.
You dirt people.
You need to work on that.
I just can't feel the car. I think I'm expecting it to do something, like give me some feedback that it's just not giving me. Where the Mercedes, I feel like I can hustle through the corner. I don't know.
No weight on the front.
Yeah, Darren. To me, between you and me, it sounds like a personal problem with for Billy.
I'll take the personal problem if it means that I have a longer front end.
Moving on. Let's see. Where are we at?
Next subject.
NASCAR. So remember there was a title called what's this called? NASCAR
Heat Evolution.
That's it. I literally did blank on it. NASCAR Heat Evolution came out last fall. Official NASCAR licensed title. Had some good things, had some bad things, but anyway, they are coming out with a new DLC pack, and unlike previous DLC paint scheme packs where they charged you $10 for like 10 cars, it was kind of brutal there for a little while. I think they figured it out, because now for $10 you can get all the 2017 paint schemes and teams and body styles, including that hideous new Toyota Camry nose. Look at that thing. That's ugly. Man, slap your mama. Ugh, awful. But anyway, so you get pretty much. And I think this is actually really neat. I mean, I saw. It's kind of amazed. I saw a lot of complaints on. It's the internet. But anyway, saw complaints on social media saying like, well, they should really work on the game besides just giving new paint schemes and stuff like that. But it's like, for years, as we were talking earlier, I raced the NASCAR. I bought the NASCAR game every single year. And to be fair, a lot of times, especially EA Sports days, it was mostly just to get the new paint schemes and new teams and stuff. There wasn't that much difference. So here you go, $10, and you can now race alongside the 2017 season that kicks off this weekend. So it's kind of neat, in my opinion.
Neato.
Sure.
I'm glad you guys are on board with me on this one.
I'm conflicted. I know people put time and effort into this stuff. It is not lost on me that there are human beings behind making a game like this.
My take on it is, man, you didn't get it right the first couple times. You should figure it out. And yeah, sure, it's a new development team, but it's basically the same engine that came from Eutechnics. Am I wrong with that?
Nope.
Billy?
No.
As far as I know, that is Correct. I mean, I think they said they made changes to it, but from my understanding, it really isn't all that different.
No, it's the same base engine. But, and I'm with you, Billy. I mean, I feel bad knocking it. And I haven't even tried it. So, you know, the old saying, don't knock it till you try it. But I have not heard much good about it. I mean, I watched your videos, Billy, when you did the test drives with it. You didn't seem all that impressed. You seemed a little more impressed when they came out with the fixes or patches, but
it was a little better. There's just still big problems. If you're going to, I don't know, if you're going to release, here's my opinion. If you're going to release something with AI in it, number one, make sure the AI function correctly. If you're not going to have AI, or if it's coming out half-assed, then don't put it in. Make it a multiplayer-only game, and then work on the other parts to make that multiplayer experience really good. But if you're going to put AI in a game, then it needs to work well. And then, you know, not having correct engine noises and what was it, like Daytona, the top speed, the super speedways, the top speed was wrong. Like that, those are easy things, in my opinion at least. It may not be easy to get right, I understand, but they are easy things to check. And they're on a time schedule, you know, they're on a deadline. I understand all that, but at the same point, it's like, I don't know.
that's where they go wrong.
It's a first impression, right? It's a quote unquote new company, and you've put a first impression out there that says, well, we had to get this out, and we know it's not right, and we're trying to fix it. Well, I don't know.
In my opinion, that's the problem with these titles. Sorry if I cut you off there, John. It's getting these licenses and then getting pigeonholed into a release date or timeline where they have to get it out, whether it's right or not. That's where, you know, even though titles like Project Cars or Assetto Corsa or GT Sport, they get delayed, it's because they're not tied to a specific license to where they got to rush one out at a certain time every year, good or bad. And it's most of those companies that end up doing that end up releasing a piece of crap.
Yeah, and to reiterate, I'm not knocking the DLC that they're putting out. I'm just speaking as a whole on Heat Evolution.
The evolution of heat.
Right. Heyo.
Or de-evolution apparently. So there we go.
Next up.
$10 if you want paint schemes. Next up, Billy, have a new rig that's entered the world.
Dun dun dun. Let's see. Next Level Racing. I should do this in some sort of like announcing or advertising voice. Maybe it's like The Price is Right.
Do it.
Next Level Racing has. I can't do it with a straight face. Sorry. Next.
Your face isn't being shown. We got pictures up. So go ahead.
Right, there we go. Next Level Racing have announced their latest simulator, the F1 GT. As the name suggests, the F1 GT can be configured in both Formula 1 and GT style seating positions. The F1 GT will retail at $499 USD and $699 AUD. There would be like a better way to say that. Which comes in below Next Level Racing's other, odd. What's the other one? Other simulator, the GT Ultimate V2. So basically, although there's the second picture. I was looking for that picture in the initial post from them on Facebook. It did not show that the GT stance. It only showed the F1 stance. I was like, where's the other one? But yeah, you're supposed to be able to flop back and forth between both racing style seating positions is the main thing.
Yes. And,
are you getting one, John? Are you getting one, John? Are you getting one, John?
Yeah, it sounds like we're gonna get one. No time frame has been. What was that?
Billy, you want one?
If they feel like sending me one,
we will look into that for you. I'm really interested to see how this rig plays out. I mean, I think it's a great idea that they're having the different configurations like that, so you can go GT or F1 style. I'm just curious how that wheel deck and that pedal deck how stable it's gonna be based on.
My only question was the pedal deck. It looks, and we obviously don't have it in our hands. The pedal deck is the only thing that I feel like is a little questionable. And like using the TSPC racer on my rig, like it's it's not the GT Omega. It's not really flimsy, and I've got that big desk-like plate put on the top of it, and I can see it trying to flex, and I don't have the force feedback in that thing turned up all the way. It's fairly mild, and it's flexing. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping this is good. I like the design. I like the price tag, $500. There aren't enough rigs at that price point. That is a strong price point. I mean, I know for years Assetto sold a lot of rigs because they were at that price point. You know, that's why I bought an Ozone back in the day. Yeah, no, my question is really that pedal deck, especially looking at that formula where it's just held at the bottom there. Hopefully it doesn't have flex. But yeah, I think having the two different positions is cool. I like that they went with a seat that's going to be much easier for me to get into with triple monitors. Yeah, I hope it's good. If this is good, I think they'll sell a lot because having those two positions is very neat. And
it's a great idea.
That price tag.
Yeah, very, very cool. It's a really, really, really cool idea for those that like to get more immersed in their seating position.
Yeah. I'm actually going to go over some of the extras. Completely adjustable wheel, gear shifter, and pedal positions. Extras include a seat slider, gear shifter support, and lumbar support cushion. Rigid, high-quality, powder-coated steel frame with premium racing seat. Suitable for series, built for comfort and long races. Cockpit can be separated into two halves, and seat can be folded for easy storage. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Compatible with all the major wheel and pedal sets, Thrustmaster, Logitech, and Fanatec. The only other thing like John mentioned, that price point, $500. I mean, that's a great price point. I'm just kind of surprised from from Next Level, that they didn't make it compatible with their motion. It doesn't look like it's going to work with their motion.
No, I don't think it will. I mean, it definitely will not in that Formula style with it essentially sitting on the floor, which that'll be fascinating, it being so low. I mean, I was thinking about that. My monitors are positioned, you know...
You'd have to slide them up and down.
Yeah, which is not, as Darren can attest, is not the easiest thing. I saw this, and I'm like, okay, when I get this is going to be a VR rig, because I don't want to screw around with moving those monitors around.
Right.
But... yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be motion compatible. Maybe they just said, you know, for the price point, let's just, have it be static and let the GT Ultimate be the motion with the V3 motion platform. So
Sure. Yeah.
Yep. But no, it's cool. I mean, there's like I said, there's a lot of rigs out there, but there's not too many in this price point. And yeah, pretty interesting with the two different seating positions.
Quite a wide range of height, supported heights, 4 feet to 6'9".
Yeah, I mean, looks like it's got a lot of adjustability in it, which is always a plus. So, I don't know. I think $500. That's pretty good. I think the one that I got, the ART, was like 400, something like that when I bought it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think it was and it's essentially doing more than what mine does because it has a different seating position. So, I don't know. I think that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
So
cool. There we go. So let's move on. Happening. So I just found this out. You guys are interviewing Paul Coleman for
Yes.
Beyond the Gloves.
Yes. We finally got that officially okay today.
Today, yes.
Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Andy Gray over there at Codemasters, going back and forth with Andy. And he's doing something really cool for us. Since when we do the show, me and Billy stare at our cameras while we actually hear each other via Skype, so we get good quality. Andy's going to go and track down a nice camera and mic. So Paul's going to should be in high quality, and then fingers crossed. And then Billy.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Billy will go put that all together, and it'll be like, legit.
Otherwise, Paul, I'm going to just record your audio, and then we can make you like a unicorn or something when you start talking.
Yes. Oh,
We have Skype.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, someone asked.
I know.
Someone asked who. I don't know if he said that. Paul Coleman is the chief game designer of Dirt 4, and he has been. He was also the chief game designer for Dirt Rally. I don't know about prior to that.
That could be a question for him.
That could be.
I met him. What was that for? What was the?
I know he's done other stuff. It escapes me.
Dirt Showdown. I think he was involved with that. Maybe Dirt 3. He's been with them for a while. Though. I met him. He was at LA for E3 one year. A cool guy. And you know what? I'm so glad to be working with Andy Gray again. Andy Gray, as I've told John, is probably the coolest, best contact I've ever had in this industry from a gaming company. Man, that guy seriously hooked us up in the early days. We had like exclusives. We had the exclusive for Circuit of the Americas before the real track was even built. And that video, when we posted that video, was getting, it went viral. I mean, we got over 1 million views on it.
Wow.
Because Auto Week and a bunch of different, real racing outlets were posting it and stuff. So, and it's because of Andy Gray. Andy Gray is the man. So he left Codemasters for a while. And now he's back with them, and I couldn't be happier. So Andy, if you're watching, and I told you this, I'm so glad you're back. As a matter of fact, I heard from this is a separate subject. I heard from my old contact from Sony, Alex Armour, who used to hook us up for Gran Turismo, and I think they closed down that department, and now he's with somebody else. Matter of fact, he offered to get us some Ride 2 and the next MXGP early coverage, but just heard from him in the last week too, and he was a great contact. Anyway, let's move on. So yeah, Paul Coleman, you guys are interviewing him, so that's going to be out this Sunday?
Yep,
yes.
I'm excited.
Yes, and I don't know. I guess, if you guys have any questions, you want to throw them in the comment section of this video, maybe we'll get a chance to look at that. I'm sure, me and Billy were talking about this last week. We have so many questions.
I've got so many questions.
Do want to ask him. And we only have so much time. We're trying to keep these shows at an hour. The last 2 shows have both been like an hour 17 or something. So, yes, it should be good.
Awesome. Well, good job, guys. I'm looking forward to that. So you got the Next Level Racing Motion Platform V3 review coming out tomorrow, John?
Yep. No, that's been a long time coming. Apologies taking so long. I think I honestly had food poisoning over the weekend, so that kind of slowed things down. So that was fun.
That sucks.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, that review is coming. Shot. I'm currently editing it. Actually did a review in under 15 minutes. Yes. So it makes editing easier. So yeah, that will be up tomorrow. Always shoot to try to release videos about 4 p.m. here local time, so 9 p.m. GMT, same time as this show. So, yep. Hopefully it'll be out at that time. If not, it'll be out later tomorrow night. But it's going out tomorrow.
Like we talk about, John. We should just do these reviews live.
I've
throw up some B-roll. Billy and I can ask you some questions about it, and bam, no edit.
I've thought about it. If I had better internet, and I'm working, I've been looking into it. Yeah, because I wouldn't be against that. Because people are just looking for the opinion, and I can give the opinion a lot sooner than versus doing the whole editing and having it look pretty and blah blah blah. So. Yeah, I honestly wouldn't mind doing that, but need to get the internet a little faster here.
So what else we got? So I'm looking forward to hearing this. Favorite comment of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I haven't shared this with you guys. So I was looking at Facebook yesterday, and I saw this back and forth comments on one of the posts, and I thought it was hilarious. So let me pull it up here. And under Wayne's comment, hey Wayne, Gavin says, "What's the price on this?" And then a Chelsea comes in and says, "No." And with a little bit of Facebook stalking, I realized that's a couple. So I thought that was hilarious. I guess Facebook you can see on the right hand side these days, but
oh wait, it took me a second. It took me a second to get
awesome.
it.
Yes,
that would be something my wife would do. That would be something Nicole would do. She would see me post something like that and go, no.
So in other words, the husband says, "What's the price on this?" and the wife comes in and says, "No."
Exactly.
That's freaking awesome.
So
That's great.
You should send her a shirt when we get them.
oh my god, yes, that was so fun. I just had this thing in my mind, like, you know, like him walking into like a car dealership and like, oh, how much is this?
Right?
Or just like her coming through like the manager's door. No. Like, how'd you even get there?
I'd see like you know, just her hand just in front of his face. No.
So
That's great.
I go by the rule. Don't ask for permission. Just beg for forgiveness later.
yes.
I don't ask. I just buy stuff, and when it shows up, my wife's like, "What's that? What'd you get today?" Oh, something inside sim racing. It's something.
We have a rule in our house where, you know, don't really need to consult the other person unless it's over $1,000, and it's more of, hey, I'm buying this. Okay. That's it. She doesn't tell me no. She just goes, all right. She's pretty good.
You know what? I'm looking at that the comments. What's the price on this? At 11 a.m. yesterday. 11:08 a.m. It took her all of 8 minutes to respond. No.
That is fantastic.
I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, that she saw it on the right-hand side, that he commented on something. I was like, oh, I wonder what he commented on. It wasn't like, you know, really stalking.
Like, right. Yeah. No, that's probably what happened. But still, that is, man, give a thumbs up for her.
Yes, I saw that, and I like, wait a second, I gotta research this, and then, okay, yeah, this has to be on the show. So, yeah, we've had some good comments here recently. We keep on seeing more comments. I'm gonna keep throwing up on the show.
That's great.
They're funny.
That's
like the
fantastic.
one I said last week, goodbye iRacing, and then he says he's packing his wife up.
Oh God, yeah,
yeah.
That was funny. Yes. Okay. Next topic. I just
CPU stuff.
Yeah. Next topic. I just kind of want to throw this out here. I don't know how much you guys. Well, okay, probably a fair amount. Follow just stuff. New hardware going on in computer realm. Let me pull up this website and hopefully it doesn't come with a banner. But anyway, there's been a lot of talk about the AMD new Ryzen CPU, and some prices were leaked last week, and pretty much the CPU is like gonna be as good as the Intel CPUs, but half the price, which is just awesome. Let me find it here. So they're $1,700. Let's see, there's $1,700 here for $319. I guess has the same performance as like Intel's equivalent. That's $650. So
holy crap.
And something like their $500, their $1,800 has the same performance as Intel's like $1,100 chip. So
what?
yeah. So these are leaked, but these are from like legit sources now, and of course it's like the Project Cars thing, quotation marks leaked. So anyway, these new CPUs are looking awesome from AMD, which is awesome because you need competition, and Intel's just been running away. And I need new CPUs. I mean, I
wouldn't mind throwing a new one in mine.
Yeah, my 2700, 2600, whatever it is, K from 2011. And part of the reason I haven't upgraded because Intel's had this stranglehold on the market. They just haven't really advanced. And now finally, it doesn't seem like this is vaporware. It seems like AMD is coming out with a chipset that can compete, and they went low on the price to really cut out Intel's knees here. So this is awesome, and I think they're supposed to start coming out in March, I believe. So and I'm sure when they first come out, they'll be obnoxious. If if everything holds up with the benchmarks we've seen so far in prices, they'll be hard to get. But maybe getting to this summer, I could see myself upgrading to maybe one of these AMD chipsets. So something I'm going to throw out there.
Yeah.
Darren, you thought?
My mic was off. Billy, what are you running?
4690K.
Okay.
So it still works pretty well.
i5.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I have.
It still works pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I have in this machine that I'm broadcasting from, which is my secondary gaming machine, and then on my my racer, it's a 4790 and i7 4790K, and they're both pretty comparable. But they still do a good job. I think John is got a little bit of a bottleneck there Not
Yeah.
horribly, but I mean, he definitely's got one. I don't think you and I have as much of one, Billy, compared to like the 6000 series, now the 7000 series Intel chips. But that's great news. I mean, that AMD's back in the game now, because they've been behind the 8 ball as far as chips go for a long time.
Yeah, a decade.
Yep.
So, nope. I thought that was cool. Just wanted to share that. And yes, 2017, finally a new CPU, new motherboard, DDR4 memory, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for those people that are trying to upgrade, that's excellent news.
Yeah. Cool. So I'd like to give a shout out to some new bloggers that we have coming on board. John, did you get pictures of them yet?
Nope.
We'll throw that up in a week or two. Anyway, I'd like to welcome them to the team. Dean Hummerstone, Paul Heidkruger, and Seth. Man, what is with these guys' names? No, I'm just kidding, guys. Seth Cormier.
Cormier.
How would you pronounce that, John? Cormier?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll have to find out. Anyway,
Yes.
I'd like to welcome them to the team. They're going to start blogging for us soon. And we'll let you guys know a little bit more when they get going. But
Sweet.
yeah, and they should, between the three of them and you two, we're gonna have tons of blogging going on.
Yes,
Nice.
That is the goal. Like I said, when we put this out there about wanting bloggers, wanted to get multiple people, and 3 was what I was hoping for. So pretty excited to get some good content out.
By the way, Redline Rossi, John and I have the same exact webcams, don't we, John?
I actually have a better one than you guys do.
Yeah, it's not.
It's Skype.
It's on my end. If I need
Yeah.
better internet, because they look good in Skype, but they don't look good in XSplit. So
I don't think it's the internet, John. I think it's XSplit that's degrading our quality somehow.
yeah, maybe I'll have to maybe play with this some more. But yeah, I mean, it's when there's all 3 of us on here, there's definitely I think there's some bandwidth issue, because with 2 of us, Billy was looking pretty good a couple weeks ago. But yep, so that's the hurdle. The webcams are fine.
Wim, I saw your comment. Have we ever recycled your content? Come on. I mean, maybe William did back in the day a little bit, but John and I never did.
That's okay. I know.
Oh, jeez. I didn't even see that one.
I know. I know who Wim thinks who recycles his stuff, and I think you're right, Wim. Darren, you have something.
I do, and I'm opening it, so I can't really call it. Well, I guess I can call it an unboxing now once I get to the box portion. So yeah, we have the Renovatio SRD R3 dash. Show you guys a close-up of the box here. And I got a little sticker I got to get through. Unfortunately, he sent this to me. He was supposed to send it to John, and he sent it to me. Let's see if I don't have any scissors here, so you have to give me a second to peel this off. So this has been sitting since right before I broke my ankle. And he was just asking me about it. A guy named Sergio from Renovatio. When we're going to have it on the show. And I'm like, well, dude, I told you to send it to John, and you sent it to me. Well, this thing's compact.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty
Looks
sweet.
good.
See the back.
Okay, so it's got is this a mount? I see the connection.
So yeah, it's got like just a standard small USB port. Looks like two mounting points right there.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Oh, okay. Billy's like, I got a toy too, and it's bigger.
what does he got?
No, I went to mount this. Frank and we
Get
talked
that
about.
out of here.
I wanted.
Get that out of here.
I'm gonna hold up my phone.
Right? I wanted to use something like this, and it attaches to the back of the wheel, but I run that dash, and it fits on my TSPC racer, which is really cool. I don't have enough spacing, though, behind here without a right angle plug. and the right angle USB that is provided is too stretched out. I need it. He provides a longer one, but I need to hook up with him and say I did not tell him that I had space issues, probably commitment issues too.
It's not the same dash, is it?
As yours?
Yeah.
No, it's different. Yours is that analog kind of looking thing, and this is just purely numbers. That way, yes. So.
Yeah, the reason why I ask is because Renovatio is, I think he's selling these.
Yes, this is a Renovatio, or however you say it. This is the dash itself, the tack, is Renovatio. The piece, the carbon fiber deal is from Renovatio.
Gotcha. But that's
Okay.
a different. But it's not the same dash either. It's a different model.
Correct. Yours is
Got it.
fancier. Yours is fancier.
Yeah, that's right. Don't forget it. So there's that dash. There's the cable that comes with it. Little instruction manual.
I'm looking forward to seeing this. I mean, we've had I've seen the thumbnail on our website forever, what it looks like when it's in use. So been looking forward to actually see what that how that dash looks.
It says insert CD in the instructions, but I don't. Maybe that was. I think the older Renovatio we had. No, there's no CD. Probably just got to download the software. So it looks like it's compatible with everything. Assetto Corsa, Automobilista, Project Cars, F1.
Yeah, I was impressed at the list that they give, and they said they're always updating it too. So that's not even the definitive list. If you go on their site and download their software, it sounds like they do a decent amount of updates.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna mount it. It's pretty lightweight, so I could end up Velcroing it maybe.
Just Velcro it to wear a glove, Velcro it to the back of your hand. That way it's on your.
I'll figure something out. Figure some kind of. It'd be nice if they came with the screws that fit those holes, so you'd have to try to figure out how to mount it.
Yes, I agree. It even comes down to, we've talked about it a little bit, but like even when you get a new wheel, I really wish they would include the M6 bolts. Such a little thing, but then again, extra cost. Something's got to be something else in the box. So
let's see,
no.
where can you get this? What's their website? Matter of fact, you can go to our website, and we have a banner.
That's even better. Do that.
Yes, go to our homepage, scroll down on the right side, and there is a link.
I can actually pull it up right now.
Yeah, why don't you do that, John? And actually, the website is actually go to store.renovatio-dev.com, but you just go where John's going on our site and click on that banner, and it'll take you to their website, and you can see the dash that Billy's got there. But yours is the SRD-9C, I think.
I can tell you in just a second because I have the paperwork right here. SRD Manager 2. And then D3.
D3?
Yeah, I think that's what this is saying. I don't know.
Model numbers with Darren and Billy.
Right? We could do what was that ASMR?
Yeah.
What I'd like to start with is the SRD Manager 2 is a Windows-based application used to manage.
Yeah, you read everything. Oh Lord.
Right?
So mine's the R3, and it retails, so just a little bit more info about it. €229, excluding tax €187.70. So I wonder if Renovatio's got this one at their site and how much they're selling it for.
And if you want to find out, use the Renovatio link in the description of this video.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh,
That's
man.
right.
These things just come together.
I know.
Well, and speaking
Everything's
of,
intertwined.
in that video that I did, Frank was nice enough to send me a single monitor stand, and it comes with all kinds of bolts in it. Like,
Nice.
So if you're trying to mount your monitor, he has a whole slew of bolts. Hopefully that'll fit. So I found some that worked on mine. It was perfect. So speaking of not things not coming with stuff, at least you should have.
Yeah, he's got it for sale for $239.95 here in the States. Looks like the one Billy's got. He's got a few at his site here.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember.
$159.95 for Momo wheels. Is that the one?
It's for the Thrustmaster.
Hold up that big old thing again, Billy.
The Thrust.
Be prepared for the Thrustmaster add-on.
Wow.
Okay. Interesting. I don't see that one. Oh wait, maybe I need to go to the next page.
I had to wait for that because he was out of stock, so I don't know if he's out of stock again or what.
Oh, that must be this first one. For the Thrustmaster wheel hubs. $159.95.
That
Pretty cool.
sounds about right. Close to it, somewhere around there.
Nice. Cool. So you can get that from rickmotech.com or I wonder if it's, let's see if Renovatio.
Spatial, the problem, I know most games have good dashes nowadays, but the problem is like on mine, half the time if I use the 599 rim, I can't see my dash. And I prefer not to use a virtual dash, especially when I'm doing videos. So
That's kind of gotten me more the direction of using. The 599 rim is great. I've kind of gone a little more towards the Formula style, just because the Formula style, then you can see the on-screen dash.
yes,
If you're using a full diameter wheel, normal wheel, you lose that. So yeah, having the TSPC rim now definitely get a lot of use out of that because I can actually see the dash.
which that is, I was surprised because I tried that real quick to begin with before I threw the 599 on there to do the video, and I think it's actually the hand grip area is actually larger than the 599 rim.
It is. It's super,
very comfortable.
Yeah, and that's that's exactly what I mentioned in that head to head where
John, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I know. We were joking about it before the show, but because the Fanatec Formula rim is really nice. Like it's really nice looking. It has
It just looks more polished.
Yeah, it has a lot of things that I like, but I tell you, I ran that in the triple stint to Daytona 24, and my hands literally did hurt the next 24 hours. Like I was just massaging them. So
John, you lie.
So that 28 centimeter diameter of the TSPC, and then having those larger grips, it really is less taxing on my hands. So that's why those things tied. I feel like I gotta do snaps.
Billy, Todd McDanger says, Bill, you are the master of thrust.
That's not the first time I've heard that. Hello.
Just throwing out high fives.
Wow. Right. All right.
All right.
Next,
we eventually get to the Q&A.
Yeah, well, hold on real quick before we do. If you guys are just joining us, we've got quite the giveaway going on at our site in conjunction with Thrustmaster. To win, you need to be a member of our forums. As a matter of fact, there's a link to this contest in the description of this show, and you could win a Thrustmaster TSPC Racer and T3 PA Pro pedal set. So the combined prize package is worth $650. So that's anybody in the or anybody in the world can win this, and you get both of these if you win. To win, you need to answer 4 questions along with sending us your real name and your location. 4 questions are: what material is used on the TSPC Racer's open wheel grip? Second question is: what's the shape of the external turbo power supply? And I'll give you a hint, and I gave you one earlier. It's not the shape of a turbo, even though it is the shape of a turbo, but that's not the answer we're looking for, so do some digging. How many watts in the brushless motor, and what does FOC stand for in relation to the TSPC Racer? We will accept 1 entry per email address / forum member. Deadline for entry is February 28th. And the person that has submitted their name and location and answered all 4 questions correctly will be chosen at random and notified via email and announced on the March 1st edition of this show. So tune in live to see if you won this incredible package. And you're going to need to email contest@insidesimracing.tv to enter. So there you go. Good luck. And we've already got over 100 entries in less than 24 hours. So get your entry in and try to win this awesome package. Okay.
Don't be shy.
Q&A. I think we lost John.
No, damn it. I turned off my thing.
I thought something happened. I thought something was... I thought something was broken. I saw John chatting away there, and I'm like, "Oh, and what happened?" I was just talking away.
Just talking to myself. I
can only see Darren when he's talking, so I had no idea.
I was just commenting. Redline Rossi said, "What happened to the poll and donation?" What happened is I forgot to put them up this week. So usually they are there, but that was my bad.
I think you can make a donation if you're in the night mode. If you want to make a donation, if you're in night mode, at the bottom of chat, there's a little $sign.
Yes.
I'm in night mode.
That is true.
Take it, Billy.
No, I was more or less making a funny.
Okay.
All right. Hey, presented by ProSimU.
Yes. Let's see. So Q&A, yes, brought to you by ProSimU. They're offering shipping costs and ProSimU carpet for buying their T1002 motion or T1003 motion. If you want to check out ProSimU, go to our website, click on this banner, and head over to their website and check out their simulators. And that offer is... Wait, let me finish this off. So, yes, you get a free carpet and free shipping costs. You buy a T100 3-motion without seat, and prices are from €15.75. And the offer is in Europe and the US. One of these days, I'll get a sweet Billy radio voice and read these plugs better.
Yes, you can click on the link or just go to prosimu.com.
Yep.
I'd like to thank them for sponsoring the show and the site. So, Q&A. First one is Orange Jector asks, for Forza Horizon 3 on the PC, doesn't support H-pattern shifter, TH8A into T300 RS. It's been more than 6 months from the release. Will Microsoft ever release a patch for that? Good question. I know. I'm assuming it could be because you need to. You can't connect multiple peripherals. I'm surprised it doesn't work because you can plug in the shifter to the base. But good question. I'm surprised they haven't released some kind of patch for that yet. Next one's for you, Billy. You want to take it?
Yeah, Tom Jones, my one and only. Ooh, I get his one and only. Billy, now you have a TSPC racer. Is there anything you like better about the T300? Not so far. It is... I was telling Darren and John before the show, I was really pleasantly surprised at how much stronger it is, but it still retains fidelity, where I felt like the T300, if you made it too strong, it would clip and go numb. It'd just be a heavy wheel. You can still have a heavy wheel, but I don't feel like I'm struggling with it. With the T300, I did not like to have a lot of force feedback in it. It felt better when the force feedback in the sim was turned down. Where the TSPC, I might turn it down, but I'll put it this way. I'm using the same level in Assetto Corsa right now, and it is considerably stronger, and the fidelity is considerably better than the T300. That's about the best comparison I can make right now.
Sounds about right.
Yep, concur.
I've heard too. I've seen some guys talking about in the iRacing forums during long races. They're not getting any force feedback fade at all either.
Yeah,
that's common with some wheels where some of the lower end wheels, long races, it starts to heat up. The motors start to heat up, and you get some force feedback fade. I've heard that people are not getting that. So,
well, that's a plus.
Yeah. All right, next question.
Let's see. Where we at? Spatial Dragon. Race department interview with GTR3. Did you understand what they were saying at basic level?
So did you catch that today?
I did not. I saw it. I did not read it. Billy, did you read it?
Really, there wasn't a whole lot more divulged. They are talking about trying to get they kind of kept jumping around where they're trying to secure publishing, but they don't really need it. So I don't know how it was an odd interview because they kept jumping back and forth. So the way to condense it is they want to put out something in 6 months to potential publishers. And then they were saying like in 8 months to a year have this out. And then what they wanted to do is be able to use the tech that they've done with Unreal 4, the Unreal 4 engine, and go, oh, hey, you want a dedicated touring car game? Okay, here, we can do that in 6 months or 3 months or whatever it is. And it was like, that's really fast.
Huh.
I mean, I was like, wow. But that's kind of the gist of what they were talking about. And they said they are in contacts with other GT3, let's see, what did they say, GT3 series? Mm-hmm. To have like some sort of an official series. I'm like, that's cool, but that just seems like that's really fast to get something out. I don't know. I mean, they could do it. And they also talked about the difference between Race Room and the GTR3 and the DX9 problem that Race Room is kind of under, where it's outdated tech, and so they're going to be kind of utilizing resources together. And the part that struck me was the timetable that they're going to try to put this thing out. I was like, that's really fast. They haven't even. It's just a proof of concept, and the proof of concept, those screenshots were from Race Room. That wasn't even from them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and those were from a long time ago.
Yeah. So that's what he's like. Yeah, we basically don't have anything right now. We're still hiring people. Oh.
So what's the deal with Race Room? Are they gonna? Weren't they initially talking about transitioning to that engine as well?
In time. The way they made it sound like is once they get this system together, where this modular system where they can sell the engine, or not sell the engine, but license it out or whatever they're going to do. This template rather. It sounds like they're going to start helping Race Room to some degree in transitioning over, or with a completely different system. And I mean, they flat out admitted how far Race Room was behind, and that they started in the wrong manner, and that really hurt Race Room. And then with Sector 3, they've really been trying to change that perception that they have. So
interesting.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Kindusi asks, Jeff Crammon Grand Prix 2 had wet weather with dry racing lines appearing over time. That was many, he didn't put the extra many, but I'm going to put that in there, many, many years ago. Why does it seem wet weather with drying lines is so difficult for modern sims? I drink a little too much for the show here. Just kidding. That's a great question. I don't know, maybe because things have come so far, physics, I don't know.
I can kind of get a little insight into how much I've been doing the dirt stuff. Is that the algorithms that they are using now? The problem is that everything else is so advanced. They're trying to get these other systems in place that are just as advanced. If you had, in fairness, those older systems were fairly simplistic in their algorithm, and the newer stuff is definitely more in depth. And we've gone back and forth about how the dirt changes, and the dirt is considerably more complex than a dry or wet racing line, but it's not that much more complex. So people's heads would explode if they could see like the back and forth and like the difficulty they're going through and trying to get this to work right. So I can only imagine if you had, these wet to dry transitions as well, how infuriating it can be to try to get this technology to work with it, because there's just so much to it. It's not a simple system. You don't crank out a game anymore in 1 or 2 years.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think nothing against those old games, but I think they were very simplistic. They were kind of just like, okay, this seems right. We'll put the algorithms
and
in
it
there
works.
that make
it worked.
Yeah, exactly. But now they're really like everything needs to be very realistic, and it just takes more work. So I think that's kind of where we're at.
Yep.
Henrik Jan, hi guys, congrats for another great show. Thank you. We have dropped no frames, so doing well. How do you think dirt racing will impact asphalt over oval participation on iRacing, like the B or A Fix series? I mean, I think it's gonna have. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be the new toy's gonna come out. Everyone's gonna flock to it like moss. I think a lot of people are gonna find out that it's difficult because it's completely different from what we're used to, and then that will drop off a good portion. But I do think a lot of people who are regular oval people will stick with it, and I'm sure it will have some impact on those oval series.
Yeah, I would think we'd get or they would get an influx of people that just want to drive, and I've seen it. I've seen some comments from a variety of people that just want to drive dirt. But I don't think I agree 100% with what John just said. I think it's going to be the nice new shiny toy that everybody wants to play with and try, and then people are going to realize how difficult it is to drive sideways fast, and people are going to go back to what they were driving. That's my guess. It's like when the Lotus 49, man. The Lotus 49, they were talking about it was going to come out for over a year, and everybody's like, when's the Lotus coming out? The Lotus 49. It came out. Everybody flocked to it for like a couple weeks, and then now it's that series is a ghost town.
Back to GT3 and Star Mazda, or now Formula Renault 2.0.
Yep, exactly. So
yeah, you can see that happen. I mean, in testing that we do, it's like all of a sudden it's such a foreign thing for most people to do to get the car to work, and they're just like, I don't understand this at all. You're kidding me. This is how the car really reacts? Yeah, this is really how it works. I don't understand. So it's not that people can't get it, because these guys eventually get it, but especially when we first started testing, you should have seen like the guys that have no clue about dirt or that have never run on dirt. They were just like, I can't even make the car go straight. Well, yeah, I'm serious.
I believe it.
I'm not trying to make fun of them. It is a very odd thing to get right and to understand that I have to drive this really hard to get it to work. And if I'm not committed, the car just doesn't go around the turn, won't go straight down the straightaway. It creates all kinds of problems. So, but for the most part, everybody's got it now. It's just that that first couple of weeks, it was like, this is rough.
Yeah, and I do want to jump in here. Big Belly Gamer had a good comment. He said, I think the Rallycross will have a bigger following than Dirt Oval. When Rallycross comes out, that'll be very popular because, Rallycross is a lot more pick up and play.
More global too.
Yeah,
Dirt Oval racing is here in the States only.
Yeah, so I do see Rallycross being extremely popular.
Yep, me too. Billy, you want to take the next one?
Oh, Crisis 2K10. What would be your dream car on which dream track and in which sim? And then he's specifically citing physics, tire models, realism. John?
We've done this a lot of times. My go-to answer now is I want to drive Bathurst. Stick me in a GT3 car, or a V8 supercar. Sounds good to me.
I don't have one. I don't know. I can tell you tracks I don't like to drive, but I like driving so many different things. I just don't know. Like, it's stumping me off the top of my head. Because I just drove in AC. I was getting ready to do a video before this came out with the 2016 GT3R Porsche. And that was a lot of fun in AC. Like, I really liked the way that drove. So in that moment, like, I really liked driving around Spa. I'm not that great at Spa, but I really liked driving around that track with that car. But if you were to ask me, like, next week, it'd probably be something different.
And for me, it's I don't know. I think I've pretty much driven my dream car and my dream track in many sims. So I don't really have an answer for that. I can tell you what I'd like to drive in real life, but that wasn't the question. So let's move on. Paul Hoggett, will you be testing, reviewing the Dirt Rally PSVR update coming out this week? No, none of us have it. None of us have VR for the PlayStation.
And that's gonna be a question we're gonna. I do want to ask Paul about VR, his thoughts on it, and then where he thinks he thinks it's going, since they've been non-committal so far to PSVR for Dirt 4. So kind of want to dig into that.
He did say in another interview that they were going to release it, but don't expect it at launch. It would be down the road.
That makes sense. Yeah, I really want to know how much work that is to do VR. So that will be one of the questions. Let's see, where are we at? Eric Keeble, what gloves are you guys using for sim racing? I know Billy's probably got a pair there. I use the Alpine Stars karting gloves.
I use these gloves called Skin.
What? No. Uh-oh. Billy's gone frozen.
Uh-oh.
Man, we're just going to continue the show without him.
Billy, no!
This is like an old Top Gear moment. They always say, like, when they leave someone, and they just go, okay, right? And then they move on.
Let's just move on. Since hopefully Billy will come back.
Yep.
Oh, I heard he just disconnected. He's gone. Billy's gone.
Oh, we killed Billy. You bastard.
And now our why am I all big? My head's gigantic now.
There we go. Oh, I kind of fixed it. Well, we're almost done anyway. Roll on.
Someone jinxed us. Well, can we call him back? Can we get him back on the call?
Let's see. Let me
Hello?
see. Let me see if I can do this.
Oh, look at this. I can be on both sides.
Oh, wow. That's really gotten messed up. Audio podcast listeners are confused.
Right. John, you go ahead and keep fixing that. I'll answer some questions.
Okay.
Nigel, Assetto Corsa, any idea if the 1.12 update will make its way onto the consoles at some point? By the way, great having the three of you on the stream. Well, spoke too soon there. Hope you take the thing if you can. I really, Billy's, he's in chat. I'm floating in space.
He's just going to start typing all his responses.
Beat me in, Scotty. I really, you know what, to comment on that, I really enjoy doing it with the three of us too. It's a lot of fun. Have you heard about the 1.12 update going to the consoles? I'm assuming it's coming soon.
We talking Assetto Corsa?
Yeah.
The update came out the other day. PlayStation was released on Monday or Tuesday, and Xbox was supposed to be the day after. But the 1.12 update on the consoles wasn't the same as the PC. So maybe he's getting to that, and anyone's guess. I mean, it's hard to say when the console will catch up with the PC.
I'm going to take a question from John Ulmer. Hey, John, by the way, in chat. What are we doing for Sebring? Am I invited back? No, dude, we do not want you back. You caused a lot of No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we want you back. Of course we do.
I was about to say, F yeah, I want him back.
As long as you're not calling anybody a-holes out there. I caught your live stream. I loved that, though. Anyway, yeah, dude, of course we want you back. We got to start prepping. Matter of fact, you missed the early part in the show. Doctor says that I can start walking on my foot in 2 weeks. So when is Sebring? End of March?
I think it's March 20th about. I feel like every year. I haven't looked, but it's coming up. So I'm going to start right at the end of this month, I can start walking on it. And then 2 weeks after that, he told me 100% load bearing. So that being said, I should be totally ready for Sebring. So yeah, we're running it. So anyway, let's move on. You want to take the next question, John? I will say I watched a little bit of John's stream from Sebring the other day. Of course, he was running in the HPD, but okay, where are we at? Andy?
John, by the way, since there's only two of us, we're sitting a little close to each other here.
I know. I can't. There's nothing I can do about it. There you go. We fixed it. We had Andy. Yes. How attracted do you think that other member's wife is with all the voices Billy used today? That's a callback from last week where wife wanted to hear Billy talk, I think.
I know.
Man, yeah, this today was a banner day until he disconnected.
I know.
RF Night Stalker, what do you enjoy most about racing, all of you? Competition, fun? I enjoy it the most. Yeah, I enjoy it the most when there's competition. I mean, it's getting in like running like the iRacing 24 hours. Really reminded me, getting back to competing. Like we talked about before. Unfortunately, doing some of the hardware stuff, you don't get a chance to do as much competing. So yeah, I think that's what I enjoy the most. And a lot of times, why I kind of go back to like an iRacing versus some other titles, because that's where I feel like the strongest competition is.
Wim said it looked like we're in jail.
Yeah, it does.
I'm holding the bar. But yeah, same thing that John said. I mean, I like both competition and the fun. I mean, mainly I do it for the competition, the rush. Next question, Joshua Campos. Hey guys, I got a T300 599 rim I use on the PS4, but for some reason it's not lined up with the car's rim. Do you guys have any idea? Sounds like you just need to recenter it, recalibrate the center.
Which is there any way to do that? I don't think there's any way to do that with just the buttons, right?
Or he could be talking about input lag on the PS4.
Maybe.
Could be input lag too. Yeah, there is a button press. If you're talking about your wheels not centered properly, there is a button configuration. Go to the Thrustmaster site in their support, and you can find it. Yeah, there's room for Charlie. I think Charlie's on lockdown right now because. Next question, Nigel Benton. Just like to say that I've really enjoyed Beyond the Glove so far, and for me, Sunday is a great day for it to come out on. You are spoiling us with content at the moment.
Oh, thank you, Nigel. Yes, Sundays. I kind of ran into this issue where we filmed last show on Thursday and came out on Sunday, and by that point, Project Cars 2 had updated their website. Which, by the way, Darren, I don't know if you saw, on their website listed a bunch of information, including that it's going to have triple screen support. So.
Oh. Good.
That's cool. I feel like I was like, if I had more time, I was gonna do a blog post by like, oh, by the way, there's a bunch of like information about the game over on their official website now that we hadn't heard previously, including triple screen support and ultra wide support. So
speaking of Beyond the Gloves, I'm in contact with them. Sorry, I'm throwing something away. Contact with them through Sim Experience, and then we have some contact going on for Inside Sim Racing as well. We need to get somebody from the Project Cars team on Beyond the Gloves.
Yeah, I hit up Pete Morsch on Twitter last week, and he said that I need to talk to the PR folks and kind of run up that way. So I need to send some emails on that. But yes, need to get them. Need to reach back out to iRacing. A whole bunch of people we need to chat with. I have asked Jeff Favano, who does a lot of streaming with like he runs a whole bunch of stuff, but a lot of NASCAR stuff and iRacing. I asked him to come on the show, and he said he would. So we'll have him on sometime, and we'll just shoot the ish about some sim racing topics.
Cool. Actually, I'm going to take the next one too, and then John, you can take the last two, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
T-Bone asks, besides SimVive, are there other alternatives for sending telemetry to base shakers / tactiles available? I just have a stationary rig, so I'm limited for immersion. Why would you want anything else? No, there really isn't. I heard that the XSim guys or whatever, the DIY motion community, they were trying to make something, but they didn't. And I think they were going to be charging for it, but SimVibe does a great job. Look it up.
Imperial T Games Hello. Interesting. Question. What would you recommend, G29 or T150 Pro? Here in the UK, they are both about the same price. Want to upgrade from DFGT for better support. Yeah, between those two, I lean towards the T150. G29 has nicer materials, at least in the wheel and stuff like that. But internals, it was so funny. There was a comment today on one of the buyer's guys saying that we're crazy, saying that Thrustmaster is better than the Logitech, and the Logitech G29 is a superior wheel. That gave me a chuckle. But yeah, the G29 is just unfortunate Logitech. It's old technology, and the belt gear hybrid on T150 is just smoother in my opinion. So yeah, I would go with the T150 Pro.
Hey, John,
Yes.
there's a comparison you can do.
Yeah, that probably would be another good comparison. Boy, I really want to do a comparison with the T80 and the Hori racing wheel, because that Hori video and it's got over 100,000 views and comments all the time about that.
Do you want me to get you one?
Yes. Yeah, no, if you can give me one, that'd be great, because I do want to do a head-to-head of those. Because, yeah, it's amazing how many comments we get on, those non-force feedback wheels.
I will send him something right now while you're answering the last question.
Okay, last question. T-Bone, do either of you three or two guys use your rigs for other types of gaming, such as flight sims or shooters? For the longest time, my rig was also my workstation. When I had the Assetto Ozone, it wasn't ideal, but it worked enough, and I modified it to kind of have it work enough. But I definitely do prefer working at a desk here more so than the rig. But no, I'm lame. I just sim race. I don't really play any other games.
I do, but not on my rig. It's just setting up a rig, or setting up to play like that. Matter of fact, I just got myself a padded mouse for one of the little. I got more room to show stuff now.
Nice.
Kind of can't see it because of the light, but more better ergonomics. But yeah, on this PC that I have right here, it's which is my old PC. Actually, here I can turn my. You guys can see my tower right here. I do. Oh, now my camera's all jacked.
We've already gone off the deep end when it comes to video quality. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was figuring. We're about to wrap it up anyway. So I do first-person shooter gaming on this setup, and I got a BenQ curve monitor, but not on my rig. It's just not ergonomically designed to be able to. I need to have some kind of table setup or something. It just doesn't work. It's a more powerful system. Actually, they're about equal now. Both systems are about equal, but no.
But on this topic, there was a forum post. I'll have to go find it now and show it sometime on the show. It was I feel like it was a newer member and posted it back in January. But he had a CAD design of a dual-purpose sim rig and desk, where you go and you utilize one computer, and there is a section of it that's a simulator and triple monitors, and then it's all on the wall. If you get out of your rig, then you come back around, and there's a desk area with another set of monitors that you can go and then do work. And the idea is that you do all this on one tower. And I thought it was I even commented on it, I thought it was a really cool idea. And it's an idea that I've thought about for a long time as someone who wanted to utilize my most powerful computer, my rig, for things other than just sim racing. So might have to show that off on the show sometime. But I think that'd be really awesome to see that, a dual purpose setup, so you can just utilize one PC. I think the tough thing becomes monitors and number of connections.
Yep. I think that's gonna wrap it up. Except for I want to just comment. T-Bone said, "Laughing out loud, Darren, you biased bugger," because talking about Sim Vibe. Guess I'll buck up. Any promos coming for ISR TV members? Pretty expensive here in Canada. No, but you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, we could do some giveaways of Sim Vibe here on the show. Not to say that you're going to win it, but we can do some giveaways of Sim Vibe. I can easily pump out some codes for that and then get people hooked up. And maybe, you know what, I'll talk to Bernie about doing a promo on Sim Vibe.
That'd be cool. And by the way, when we get done with this TSPC giveaway, I have some iRacing codes for new members, and I think some credits for existing members. So we'll probably give those away in March, or at least give some of them away. I have a whole bunch. I kind of want to do it in sections throughout the year. So yeah, maybe early March. If you're not an iRacing member, might have an opportunity to win, become a member.
Very cool.
I think we did it.
We did it. Almost error or problem free. And we really can't blame you, John. And Spatial Dragon, Tim, can't blame me, buddy. Man, the whole time I was off, every freaking show, Tim was saying, oh, the lag is because of Darren, or the buffering's because of Darren. It's Darren's fault. Yeah, you know what, Tim? You're number one, buddy. I'm not going to point the finger at you to tell you. I'll just put this one up. You're number one, Tim.
Well, I will say we dropped no frames today, but we did drop one host. So, we'll call it a wash.
Yeah. Anyway, John, why don't you take us out?
Sure. As always, guys, thank you for watching this week Inside Sim Racing. A lot of really good chat this week. A lot of good questions, Q&A. Yeah, good show. You guys helped make the show. So
That's right.
So for Darren Ganji, as I'm pointing this way, I'm John Sable. See you guys next time.